Dior Sauvage EDP versus Bleu De Chanel EDP. So let's just get right into this. Sorry I do not own the bottle of Dior Sauvage EDP, but I had a mini samples of this, so I pretty much know what I'm talking about, and we'll get into this. But I do own, as you can see, Bleu De Chanel EDP. So I'm going to stick to my notes as usual. So with Dior Sauvage EDP, I actually wore this today. The opening is sweeter to me on my skin, and these are all subjective to me and my skin and how I tested it out, but I've worn this enough to know that the opening of Dior Sauvage EDP is sweeter, but it starts to draw closer to my skin. It does start to smell let me rephrase. It smells synthetic, but it's a great crowd pleasing scent. I believe this one shines with the sillage, not when you smell it up close to your hand or close up, but when you are passing by or you're in the room. I believe this has amazing sillage. I believe it's very synthetic smelling due to the ambroxan, which is a synthetic note for ambergris. As it dries down, it gets more and more faint to my nose. Maybe that's me becoming anosmic to it, but I could still get the hints of ambroxan. And to be perfectly honest, let me talk about the EDP of Bleu De Chanel before I go into that. So Bleu De Chanel EDP, I believe it has a fresher opening than Dior Sauvage EDP, but it still has a lot of sweetness, and it projects a little better to me than Dior Sauvage EDP on my skin. It smells a little more natural to me. It smells like they put more natural ingredients, if it is any natural ingredients. If not, then they did a good job of selecting synthetics. I believe it was built better. It's better quality than Dior Sauvage EDP. And as it dries, it remains sweeter. It keeps that sweetness, and it gets more dense to me. And it has like this, as it dries all the way down to closer to the base notes, I believe it has like that sweetness that you got at the top is still there, but there's some woods. I believe they put cedar in this, as in Dior Sauvage EDP. I think they had, I don't remember what woody note they put in there, but it does have like a woodiness along with the ambroxan. So that's Dior Sauvage, Bleu De Chanel EDP. So in between the two, between Dior Sauvage EDP and Bleu De Chanel EDP, not just because I own the bottle, but I prefer Bleu De Chanel EDP. Now, what would be a more suitable candidate to battle with Bleu De Chanel EDP in the Dior Sauvage series is Dior Sauvage EDT. Why? Because in my opinion, I like the EDT better than the EDP of Dior Sauvage. I believe it's a more worthy candidate because of that sweet bergamot that you get in the beginning. You do not get that with Dior Sauvage EDP. And it projects better, obviously, because of the more alcohol content in the EDT. And also, I wore Dior Sauvage EDP around my wife, and she sneezed about 3 times. So I believe the pepper in there made her sneeze. And it also made my son sneeze as well. He sneezed when I walked in the room after spraying it about 15 minutes prior. It made me sneeze as well. But when I own, and I plan on getting the EDT of Dior Sauvage back in my collection, or my wearing collection, I don't have a huge collection, it is a better candidate. So I prefer Bleu De Chanel EDP. Hopefully when I get the EDT back, we can go head to head. But that was my review, or my quick review. What are your thoughts on it? Which one do you prefer? Comment down below. We'll see you on the next review.